To another year of the Three Crones in the Woo Woo. Happy New Year, everyone who celebrates in January. I am Gayle Nicholson, your Dragon Slayer and also your Word Witch here at Three Crones in the Woo Woo. To my side, I have Miss Krista Ducharme with Dimensional Healing with Krista. She is our Crystal Crone. And as always, supporting us from below, we have Damaris Samolinski with Ask Genie with Damaris Samolinski. Thank you, ladies, for joining me today. How is everybody?
I'm well. How are you?
Oh, my gosh. I will paraphrase by telling you what I told Krista this morning. Mercury said, "Fuck you, bitch. I might be headed in the right direction, but I ain't out yet." So we had to recreate the entire first, intro to the show today. And hopefully you didn't notice until I told you, because I recreated everything almost exactly the way it was before. Not quite,
wow,
but almost.
Mercury is in the shadow phase. So yeah,
absolutely. All righty. So we have some wonderful, wonderful things to get going today. First of all, let me welcome you all to the show. If you're watching live, please tell us where you're watching from. If you're watching on the replay, tell us where you're watching from and let us know that you're watching on the replay. We do find that more people watch the show on the replay than have the ability to come out and watch us for a full hour on Tuesdays, Eastern at noon. So we love to see that you're watching things on the replay. Make sure that you point that out to us. All right. So thank you, everybody who's here so far. We've got Reggie. Thanks, Reggie. Hi, Reggie. And we've got Sue from Massachusetts. Mama Crone in the house. And then, of course, Hair Bear. Welcome, Harry. Thanks for joining us again today. And Reggie comes to us from the Netherlands as well.
Wow.
I know. We are global, and we love it. Now, we have some very special guests to bring on with us this time around. And I'm going to bring them on before we do our normal coffee clutch at the beginning of the show so that they can join us as well. And we have Dr. Rain is in the house. Hey, Dr. Rain, how you doing? So good to see you. And then we also have Miss Tracy Paquin. Good to see you as well. Paquin. I changed your name. Hello. Awesome. All right. So, we got Ada. Ada's joining us as well. Ada, how you doing? Fantastic. We are just so very, very happy that you are all joining us today, because this is a really big beginning for 2024. As Damaris has been educating us for the last year, and we know, we've been working on ourselves for especially last season, to get ready for this month. Literally, this month is it. About the 24th-ish, I believe. Pluto will have been gone. What?
22nd.
The 22nd. Okay. Yes, that's right. 22nd of 24. That's right. That's remembering. We will. Well, Damaris, you tell us what happens on the 22nd.
So Pluto has been in a Capricorn since 2008, and now it's moving into Aquarius. And so, what does that really mean? We have to look at what Capricorn is all about. Capricorn is all about like authority figures. It's about government. It's about everything that has to do with being of high standard. It has to do with careers. It has to do with all of that. So Pluto has been sort of like since 2008, breaking down structures that don't serve us, that don't serve humanity as a whole. So like, for example,
I hadn't really noticed.
if we're in a career, a lot of us, we go to a career that's paying us high salary, but we're not necessarily in love with it, or we don't necessarily love what we do. And so Pluto doesn't want us to do that anymore. It wants us to get into what makes us happy, what makes our soul sort of like liberated in a sense. So some of those people that have been in those careers, will have to restructure. The people that have been in like high positions that have abused their powers, they're also going to have to restructure, not because they want to, because Pluto is bringing them down. The house is coming down.
Yeah. And now, what happens on that date? Every last planet moves out of Aquarius into out of Pisces. Right?
Well, yeah, we're going into the age of Aquarius. So once Pluto goes in there, and Pluto is a collective generational planet. So it's going to affect a lot of people. It's about awakening. It's about, because it's in Aquarius, Aquarius is the sign of awakening. It's about oneness. It's about coming together. It's about one voice, like the universe, one verse, one voice, one song. And so that's what this is about. And it's just beginning. It will last 20 years until 2044. Then Pluto will move into Pisces. And so, and so for the next 20 years is about really seeing the destruction and then the reparation, the repair, the healing, the coming back together. It also has a lot to do with technology, because Aquarius is all about technology. And so what does that mean? It's good and bad. I mean, why is it bad? It could be dangerous. We have AI wants to take over, and then do away with us, and there could be a lot of dangers within that, but there's also very good things coming out of it, like new medicine, not medicine, the way we see medicine, the way we, I feel like the medical industry is going to be transformed. The transportation is going to be transformed. There's so many things that technology is bringing forth that, we're going to be the Jetsons.
We kind of already are. Have you ever seen that Facebook meme where it's like, telecalls, they already had that kind of stuff? It was like, yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, awesome. Flying cars, things like that. I mean, within 20 years, we'll see that, obviously it's a gradual thing. I mean, it's been happening, but we'll see more of it. We'll see, we'll see a lot of different things, a lot of different technology, especially I'm interested in the medical one, because, surgeries and all of that we're going to do without it, it's going to be totally different. So the medical industry is going to shift completely.
Right. Well, let's hope that that's another area that Star Trek has led the way, so to speak, because the Doctor was always talking about the barbaric times when we used to cut into people's bodies.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that will be done away with. It will be done away with, within the next 20 years. It will be so different. The technology, it's all about frequencies as well. So it's about balancing your frequencies and seeing what frequencies will heal you rather than a surgery or rather than a medication, right? Mm-hmm. So a lot of good things.
Wonderful. Krista, how have you been doing over there?
I am doing really well overall. We haven't drowned yet, but Rain understands exactly what I'm saying.
Yes.
It's been raining.
Oh,
it's been raining a lot, but we're doing really well. Happy New Year. I thought I'd sport my Happy New Year hat. Actually, this one's Jen's.
It's really pretty.
Love the headgear.
Let me do this. There we go. So you all can see. There.
It's quite eye-catching when you nod your head. It's very glittering. I love it.
It says cheers.
Awesome.
Oh, I love that.
It's nice. Really
Greg
Jen,
went home with him.
Have who? Greg?
Greg, yeah.
Okay, I'll have Greg bring it home with him.
Auntie needs that.
Auntie. Well, considering your niece just left it on my bed, I'll happily send it home to you because it's one less thing that the movers have to pack. Not that it weighs much, but you know.
Nice. Very nice.
They just shut the door. It's like, I'm gonna have to get up and go shut the door. They're watching World War II stuff. You know, it gets a little noisy.
Lots of booms. Lots of booms.
Yeah,
well,
lots of booms.
Dr. Rain, how's life been over there for you since we saw you last on the show a few weeks ago?
Oh, it's been, well, Happy New Year, everyone. And it has taken off pretty quickly. We are also, just like Krista, in the process of starting to get packed out and move to Germany in the next, starting tomorrow. So
yeah,
it's been quite the adventure.
Yeah.
But I'm loving all of it. I'm excited for the next stage, for the next door to open, and I can't wait to see what 2024 has in store for me and for everything that my family wants to do. So it's been pretty cool. I've been excited, and I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm really excited. I'm going to try to contain a little bit of it, but I'm excited, y'all. I can't wait. I'm excited.
I feel it.
You do?
I do. It's seeping through the walls.
This is the year, and I know it is. It's my transformation, and I'm ready for it. So
and this is an 8-year. So
it is an 8-year.
8 number is very, very good.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm ready. I've been putting out good karma. I'm ready for good karma to come back, and I'm ready for it to come back in everything that I do, everything that I want. I should say, everything I'm going to have.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes. Yes.
All right. Miss Tracy, I'm sorry, I stepped on you, Krista. Right? No, you're good?
It's good. It's good. It's all good. Go to Tracy.
All right. Well, Miss Tracy, dear, how are you doing? How was your little trip over to see the Netherlands and meet Dr. Rain and hang out with your sister and your nieces and nephews, if they were there?
It was fabulous. They were not there. It was just the adults, if you will, the grown-ups, because they're all adults now. So the grown-ups.
I don't know. What are we? Are we now the grown-ups? There, we're all adults, but we're the grown-ups. Yeah, that's kind of scary.
Maybe, right?
It's a little scary.
I'm like, I'm not sure if I want to be classified as grown-up.
I think the defining question is: are you sitting at a card table at Thanksgiving?
Oh, no.
I might get put at one.
That's different. You know, you're assigned that seat.
That's awesome. Awesome stuff.
Yeah.
All right,
yeah,
my dear.
It was a great trip. Loved it. Had such a good time.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. Damaris, will you tell us a little bit more about the year number 8 before we get into your segment? Because I don't want it to get confused with today's number.
Oh, yeah. So the year 8, so it's all about being the executive within yourself. It's all about achieving the goals. It's about abundance. It's about creativity. Really, it's stepping outside of yourself, getting out of your own way, I'm going to say, because we do that a lot. And so it's about becoming that, that leader within yourself that you need to, step onto that stage, without fear, so to speak. You could have fear, like you always say, but still with the courage to step, forward. So that 8 is really an executive number for achieving the goals that we have promised ourselves we would achieve even before birth. Like we knew before coming in what the plan was, right? What we wanted to create, what we wanted to do. And what happens is we get stuck in an experience, something happens and we get stuck in that experience and we don't move forward. So we grow older, but our psychological mind is stuck in that experience. So we need to heal from the experience and move forward so that we can achieve the goal that we set out to achieve. That's the number 8.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that. And now let's hear about the rest of the info you need to give us today.
All right. So we have, as you were talking about earlier with Mercury, it went direct on the 1st, but it's still, we go through the shadow phases for about 2 weeks. So it's, the energy's still there, but not as strong. So we can, move forward. Hopefully, during the retrograde, people were able to reflect, because that's really what the Mercury retrograde is about. It's reflection. Usually before moving forward, we should reflect on what has occurred and what we have achieved, and then what we want to achieve in order to move forward. We have to sort of like plan it. Mercury is all about, that. So now it's direct. We can actually move forward slowly because it's in the shadow phase. As you see, it's still affecting us somewhat. You had that incident earlier.
Yeah. Good word for it.
Yeah.
Yes. So we have a moon coming up on the 12th in Capricorn. Then we have on the 25th, we have a full moon in Leo. We have the sun goes into Aquarius the same day Pluto goes into Aquarius. So that powerhouse of a conjunction is really powerful, really, really powerful. Destroying the self, the old self, because Pluto is collective, destroying the old self that no longer serves us. And that has to do with behaviors, the way we think, the things that we have done that don't actually help us, but, set us back. I like to also look at like when we people please, right? And we put ourselves last to please other people, we actually set ourselves back, and we can't do that anymore. If it doesn't resonate, then we can't please other people. Because the time, time is of the essence, right? And if you think about the next 20 years, well, I know I'm going to be here. I don't know about you guys.
I plan on it. I have nothing else to do.
Exactly. If you think about the next 20 years, it's about stepping into that power and becoming, we usually look at ESP, right? Extra sensory perception. Now we got to look at inner sensory perception, which means God power, soul power. And that's what really is happening right now. I was talking to a client just before the show, and I was sharing something with her, and I don't know how you guys feel about it, but we're very much selfish. We don't want to admit that, but we are, and I'll explain what I mean by that. And we have to become soulful, not selfish. So I'll use the example of my mom, right? When my mother passed away, was I really? I mean, I was a child, but was I really upset that her life was taken? Or was I upset that I had no mom? And when I really looked at it, I was upset that I had no mom. So it was a selfish thing. I don't know if that makes any sense for you guys.
It makes perfect sense, but it also makes perfect sense from a child's point of view.
Exactly.
But throughout the years, I was still, I don't have my mom. I don't have my mom.
Well, you got stuck in that psychological zone.
That I don't have my mom.
Yeah. So it was about me. It wasn't like, if I would have looked at it from the other perspective, and I would have said, my God, she's no longer here. Her life is over. She's not able to experience her life, do whatever it was she had planned to do, right? But I wasn't looking at it from that perspective. So that made me selfish. So now when I step outside of myself and I look at it from her perspective, I'm no longer selfish at that point. I'm soulful. So that's where we need to step into that kind of energy. And it's different for everybody, when people go through a divorce, okay, what is my life going to look like without this person? Or, my finances, where am I going to go? So it's all about the person. It's not about the person that's walking away, right? So
generally speaking, divorce gives you the right to fuck off what they care about anyway. So
wait, what was that?
I said, technically speaking, divorce gives you the right to say fuck you to whatever they care about anyway.
Yeah, but from a higher perspective, the person, let's say the man asked for the divorce, right? And he found someone else. He met someone else. You know, at the beginning, it's all you know, fun and beautiful, but the man may be starting over from a sense of, you know, what's that other person's energy like? You know, how evolved is that woman? How, you know, advanced is she? You know, so we don't know. Maybe he's going to be left behind, so to speak, depending on the woman's perception and where she's at in life.
Right.
So then at that point, it's like, oh my gosh, look at what he went after. Like, he's going to set himself back. You know what I'm saying? We don't look at it that way, though. We're like, oh my God, you know, this, you know, we look at it from our selfish perspective, not from the perspective that that man could set himself back, or it could be us, vice versa, you know? So what this energy is about, what was that?
I said, absolutely.
Yeah. What this energy is about is, first of all, making sure that we're in the right state of mind, in the right mindset to step into that, you know, person that we set out to become. And then when the people around us, we have to look at them like, I want to help you in whatever way I can, not from a selfish perception or something that you're going to gain out of it, but to help them get on their path, whatever path that is. And so that's what this is all about.
I think we'll really start to notice the shift that you're talking about at the end of the month or in the beginning of February-ish. Because I think right now, especially with Pluto, right, we are still in those last few dying gaps of, you know, the hierarchy of self, right?
Yes.
And then when that shift into Aquarius happens, it'll be, I think, for us individually so much easier to consider other people's point of view, how our actions impact them, and so on. Because we will be moving into that paradigm of the collective good.
Yeah.
Above.
And they say that, you know, we can't, when one person shifts, we actually are lifting up so many people without not even knowing it.
Mm-hmm.
We really are. So the more people that shift and go into the higher perception, the more people you're actually lifting. And so in order to be able to move into the age of Aquarius, many people have to shift. Many people have to, you know, move into that energy. I look at the world and I even look at, you know, Facebook or any social media, and I'm like, oh my God, there's so much people that need to shift, because you can see it by their comments. You can see it by the fighting or the issues, or people want to be right and happy. And it's just like, oh, wow. Like, it's going to take 20 years, you know, for that,
You can't,
for that to transpire.
You need to give that, well, we're watching a news episode this morning to go on to what you were saying. And we'll just use, you know, there were these two gentlemen. One was Palestinian and one was Israeli, and they are the best of friends. And they're the best of friends, and they live in New York. And, you know, they have worked together for the last 15 years. And they're like, you know, we're upset, but yet we talk about it. We talk about what we're upset about as people, as individuals. We leave the politics at the door.
Yeah.
You know, we have the conversation, you know, we eat, we talk, and they have friends. They were talking about how they have groups of friends, both sides, and they've been getting together since everything has been going on in Israel. And, you know, it's like, that's exactly what needs to happen. People need to stop pointing fingers at you're wrong, you're, you know what I mean? Back and forth, pointing out all what's wrong, and say, okay, let's step back just one moment and let's have a conversation about what's right. Not about what I'm doing right or what about you're doing right necessarily, but about what is right. You know, what is right? What is, the sky is blue. The sky is blue. You know, it may start as something as simple as, you know, those basic conversations, but yeah, a lot of people have to stop yelling at one another.
Well, looking at the similarities rather than the differences, you know?
Yeah, that's it. And when we stop doing that, when we start finding those similarities, because, you know, I don't know. I know that if I cut myself, I'll bleed red.
Mhm.
I'm almost confident everybody who's present, if they cut their hand, they're going to bleed red.
Unless
So-
you're
Might be a little purple.
of course.
Onions, they
Of course you
change.
do, Rain.
Onions change.
Do you do purple with
They live
sparkles?
among us. They live
You know,
among us.
onions get that purpleness in them. I don't know. Absolutely.
But you're
Oh
right.
my
No,
God.
seriously, without joking, you're right, Krista.
Yeah,
And-
no, and I get it. And we do. And so I see exactly what you're saying. And even like in the last, with this last Mercury retrograde, and yes, we were joking around, right, about the technology aspect of it. But even the communication aspect of it, trying to get things done. Rain is getting ready to move to Germany. We're getting ready to move back to the United States. We're both doing two totally different things, but there's a lot of communications. Today is an ideal day. Kevin has spent the day having to redo things that he's already done because technology isn't communicating, because people aren't communicating.
Did you guys see that new movie that came out with Julia Roberts, Leave the World Behind, I think it's called?
Yeah.
I've
Yes.
heard wonderful things about it, but I have no idea what it's about or why I would want to watch it.
Well, there was some kind of attack and the internet was out.
It's amazing. It's
Was it?
I don't want
say
to.
too much, but
If-
the way the world is right now without the internet, oh boy, we're in trouble.
Oh yeah.
But I would love to say that was the whole premise, but it's not.
No, I know it's deeper, but I don't want to say
It is so much deeper. But yeah, we watched it as a family the other day.
The premise is no internet, right? Planes falling out of the sky. I mean, it's just like OMG, OMG. So yeah, I mean, we're so dependent on technology, and obviously, the age of Aquarius, we're going to be more dependent on it. But there has to be some sort of balance.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, my dear. Number for the day?
Yes. The number is 11, which is 2 or 11, but I like to look at it as the master number because we're not really supposed to reduce it to the 2. I always see that master number. The 1 is actually the masculine energy of action and doing what we got to do. But we got double 1. So that's like really getting into your masculine power, divine, I'm going to say, divine masculine power, because when it's divine, you're not trying to control other people or abuse your power, so to speak. Right. So it really means I am that I am. And so that double 1 energy. It's also following the golden rule, especially because of where we're going into. Do unto others as you want done unto yourself. It's getting into the Christ consciousness. The Christ consciousness is when we, again, do unto others as you want done unto yourself. Harm no one. So it is a very powerful energy, a powerful number. It's a teacher energy. So when we get into that level, then we can teach others to do the same.
Very cool. Very cool. Thank you so much, Damaris. I appreciate that.
Well, Happy New Year, everybody. And today's crystal is amazing. Okay, so before I jump into the crystal of the week, I want to pose a question or pose a thought for everybody, especially for Tracy and Rain and everybody else, is that when you bring your energy into the new year, do you bring in a energy of having to have a resolution, or do you bring in an energy of promotion or not promotion of it's to help you move forward, like a word, a strength? Like last year, we talked about it. I've been doing a word of the year. Not that I have picked my word completely for this year yet. I'm mulling over 2 words at the moment. But if you're somebody who does this, a word of the year, let me ask all of you who are present. Gayle, do you pick a word of the year or do you bring in resolution?
Kind of neither, but both at the same time. Like I was talking with a friend of mine yesterday about, do you have a New Year's resolution? And I told her I don't really. I have a plan for 2024. And part of that plan is being more conscious of what I put into my body that causes me pain and stop doing that. Like, for example, I've noticed that after I have something like pancakes or bread and I sit down, when I go to get up, my joints are tight and uncomfortable and painful. I mean, to the point where there's actual pain. And I have taken it out of my diet, put it back in, taken it out. I have proved to myself that it is a direct connection between digesting bread and my joints hurting. Not to say that other things wouldn't do that, but I do know that this one thing makes me uncomfortable. So then I can choose to stopping to do that, right? I'm not allergic to gluten. I'm not celiac. I'm not any of that stuff. Bread makes me hurt. Fuck bread.
There you go. Okay. So, alrighty. No, but so you're bringing in awareness. You're making
conscious is the
consciousness. I like that. You're being conscious. So that could actually work as your word. Is conscious.
Exactly. It kind of
being conscious.
What you really want to do.
That's it. I love that. Okay. Damaris, I know, I don't want to put you on the spot.
No, right.
Do you have a word? Do you have energy? What is it?
Sacred.
Ooh, okay. Oh, that is a perfect word. Sacred. I love that. That's very good. Okay. So what is it that you're wanting, with that? What has...
So
for me, can I interrupt you one thing before you start? Because this just freaking occurred to me. I apologize, Damaris. No. Sacred, that word is a meshing together of the sacral chakra and the root chakra, which is red. Sacred. So that lowest 2 chakras are where the God is in our life. The ability to make shit happen is those 2 bound together. And therein lies sacred, and therein lies the divine.
Love it. I am getting like confirmation everywhere, people.
Beautiful. And I love it. And thank you for that. But for me, the sacred comes from the last year, I'm going to say, I've been sacrificing. I use the word sacrifice. I've been sacrificing a lot of things that I used to do to do things that are more important and meaningful. So I've sacrificed going out a lot, to be more home, to be more around my kids, around my husband, to enjoy my house more. My pets were here and they were sick and they've been, crossing over. So I sacrificed things that are not so meaningful to stay more in what's meaningful and what matters more for me. And so when I looked at the etymology of the word sacrifice, it says making sacred. So that's what it means. And so I want to make sacred everything that I do, everything. I want it to have meaning and I want it to matter, anything that I do. So if I'm doing something, it matters to me and it has meaning to me. And so,
I love it.
Yeah. So I want to make it sacred.
Nice. I love it.
Yeah, fabulous.
That's fabulous. So Tracy, I started talking about this while you were here. Did you think about a word, or do you have a word, or are you doing resolution?
Resolutions are stupid.
Well, it has heavy energy, but I've been asking it because it has incomplete energy.
Right. It's a to-do list that you can accomplish on the 31st of the year and call it a day. And that works for some people, not so much me. I'm going, I think, with a word or potentially words that are going to evolve
Yeah.
Year goes on.
Yeah. And
As
that
I
is
evolve.
There
evolve.
you go. Evolve.
There's your law. That's your word, evolve.
Yeah.
I like that. No, I don't know if your word is evolve.
Oh, thanks.
You just explained your word.
Expansion, but evolve is also, a synonym for all of that too. So
And it
So
has
there you go. So,
too, Tracy.
and that's sometimes how your word presents. I'm sorry, Tracy.
It has
Go.
the word love and Eve in it.
okay.
So that Eve is the feminine energy and love, right?
Yep. Oh, nice.
It's
Love
what's
it.
needed on this planet, by the way.
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
It is. It is definitely. So, Rain, okay, so you've heard this. Are you going to pick a word, or do you do resolutions, or do you do something else?
So I don't do resolutions. I always pick words. I do it honestly every year on my birthday. I choose 2 new words to go into the new year, because for me, my birthday is always the new year going into.
Yeah.
But and I just keep it going. But this year, life source and resilience are my 2 words that I am coming into. I don't do resolutions. I don't set myself or my body up, as Gayle was saying. You become aware of what happens to you when you're doing particular things. And so resolutions, I feel like they are setting your body up to not complete a thing. As Tracy was saying, you're going to either complete those things by the end of the month, or you're not going to do them at all. And sometimes we set ourselves up for that failure because we go, I did not, or, well, I did make this thing, but you never even think about it. You just think, well, everyone else is making resolutions, I'll do one too. But I choose words, because words, as Tracy was saying as well, and as Damaris was saying as well, I like evolution.
Yeah.
I like to evolve, and I like to grow and learn into a thing. So my 2 words, life source, because it's always evolving, and resilience, because life source and life is resilient.
I love it.
This is a resilient and evolving time for me. And I think for everyone.
And we definitely are resilient through this process of life.
Yes.
Dr. Ray, you touched on something really, really important in your talking about not doing resolutions, because we do tend to look at our life and go, oh, this is not okay. I'm going to fix this by making a resolution, right? Out of this energy that solidifies it, and it can never be fixed because you created it out of this is wrong.
Right. Created out of thinking that you can't, that it's not a right thing to be in the first place. And that's a bad place to put that's the bad part in it. You're putting yourself in a place to think that you're so broken and so wrong that the only way you can do it is to make, something and make a contract, to say, I'm gonna, and then when you don't, that's just a preponderance of you completely feeling like crap because you did not get a chance, or you didn't, do it in the first place. And that's not the space to be in. The space is to go, what is it that's going on with me that makes me feel that I need to do X, Y, Z? Because maybe I may not need to do that at all. I might be looking at someone else and assuming that because they're doing a thing, I told my son, I'm going to get off real quick. I told my son yesterday, I said, I said, your lucky number today, little kid, is 8. I said, and 8 in the sense that I know that you probably went out. He's 22. I said, you probably went out last night and had a ball, right? And I remember what I was doing at 22 coming in on the new year, right? So I said, but what I want you to do is just enjoy your day. It's not a rough patch. It's not a rough time. Just enjoy whether you get up or not, and do not compare yourself to what someone else may be doing for the day. He called later in the evening in his bed, kind of like waking up off of. And it was funny because I was waking up off of. And so I looked at him, did you see what I sent you today? And he said, I did, Mom. And he said, I didn't understand first. I thought you were telling me not to compare myself to other people doing or being up today. And he said, but then when I went back and looked at it, I saw that you meant just because someone else sent me a message and said, hey, I'm up at 6, I'm up at 8, and I'm doing X, Y, Z, it was okay for me to go, cool, but I'm asleep for a couple of more hours and not worry about it. And that's exactly what I wanted him to get. And I think that that's what people also end up setting resolutions, because they go, oh man, such and such was up, or dang, how did they get that done? I need to be doing that, or I should be able to do that. And it may not be for you to be doing any of that. You may just need to just rest out.
Yep,
So,
and be.
exactly,
Sometimes you just need to be.
Just be. Just be.
That's
and
it.
don't have a
Being
problem with just being you.
And being,
So-
and just being in present. So
Seriously, we can't continue to acquiesce to the overlords any longer, right?
Yeah.
Because
Right.
that's what capitalism requires of us, for us to be consistently trying to fix things that don't need to be fixed, so that we can feel like failures and buy the next thing that they're selling to make us better.
Feel whole. That's right.
there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. True story.
That's right.
True story. So let's go now. Now that I had us talk this through a bit, I'm going to bring up the reason why I brought that up is because the crystal of the week is Stitchtite and Serpentine, which is a phenomenal crystal. I love this. It has wonderful earth grounding energy, right? Because of the serpentine, that's that green. The Stitchtite is the purple in it, right? And it's up there with the Atlantean stones. So if you're wanting to know where the energy of this particular stone, it's found in, I guess it's found in predominantly Tasmania. That's where I have my pieces. I was going to wear them tonight, and I forgot to put it on. But it's a wonderful stone. It is a stone that aligns with all our chakras. And it is a stone that when you start working with it, this energy that's coming in, it is there to help us remember to do better, to be better. And not do better, be better, like isn't, oh, we have to keep up with the Joneses. But no, it's to do better for us and to be better for who we are.
Yeah.
Evolve.
It is to evolve, to borrow Tracy's word.
Yeah.
To evolve,
Y'all are welcome
to be sacred to ourselves, using Damaris's word, to remember to be connected to the life force, to connect with Rain's word. You're right. It is all about to use our conscious awareness, to use what Gayle was saying. It is all about that. It is reminding us that this is a time to really tap into that part of us. And if you're really wanting to grow in a spiritual or an energy sense, it is a great stone to work with Kundalini. I am not a Kundalini expert, so I'm not going to share with you how that happens. But if you're somebody who has been interested in Kundalini, or you want to understand more, you want to have, maybe you're somebody who already is into the Kundalini energy, and this is a great stone to help and assist with that, because it starts from Mama Earth. It goes from the ground up. It's not one of those ones that comes from the top down in terms of energy. It anchors you in, which is another great reason why having it as our first crystal of the week for the year is ideal, because it's an anchoring stone, right? So now that I've gone on about the crystal of the week, I'm just going to do another thing. I did promise I was going to give a quick reading to somebody. So I don't know, Tracy, Rain, Tracy. I know both your birthdays. All right, so here's what it's going to be. I can't do that because it wouldn't be fair. Rain's, I would say, whose birthday's closest to mine? Rain's is the day after mine. That's just not fair.
That's
so
right.
I have Tracy and Rain on. Okay, I'm thinking of a number between 1 and 10. What is it?
3.
7.
Tracy, you're the closest.
Nice.
It's 6. Okay, so I'm going to give you 3 crystals. Pick which one, and without thinking: rose quartz, amethyst, or smoky quartz.
Smoky.
That's a great one. So let's see. Smoky quartz is about protection, and it's also about grounding. The message I'm getting for you is definitely, as you're moving forward, make sure that you're grounded, and not grounded. I want to say not grounded like great oak, but that's not right. Not grounded so much that you become rigid, but grounded in terms of understanding, so that when you're making a decision, you're making it directly from a place of awareness and consciousness, that you aren't necessarily making your thoughts, your decisions of moving forward as a knee jerk. You're definitely doing it with intention.
Okay.
Very nice.
So intentionality rather than impulsivity.
Gotcha.
Yes, intentionality. Yes. Yep. And that's what Smoky Quartz was doing for you.
Okay.
All right. That was your message.
Okay.
If something else comes up, I'll message it to you.
All righty.
Yes. So as I'm going to sign off on this, I invite everybody not to just think of a word of the year, but sit with actually selecting a crystal that will help guide you. You don't have to, doesn't have to be one that you own. It doesn't have to be one that you have in your, your presence. You can have a photo of it. Put it on, I was going to say here, put it on your phone. As you guys all see, I'm watching 3 Crones. You can put your crystal on your phone. If you really want to get really exciting, go to Canva. Put your word of the year and, make it all really pretty, word of the year, and then add your crystal to it and maybe a few other inspirational things. But then you have your crystal of the year that will help to energize you further. I think of it as an amplifier to the word. So think of, I've had many different crystals over the years. Sometimes I have working crystals that help me work, and sometimes I have crystals that I wear. So, and it seems like that's my crystal, and those are the ones I wear, really pick themselves just as much as the ones that I select to have help propel me energetically. So just a thought. In any case, I will give you guys guidelines if you want, not guidelines, but guidelines of how you can select a crystal of the year. And I'll go ahead and I'll share it out on our Facebook page.
Fabulous. Fabulous. Thank you so much. Krista, give us an update with Patreon, please.
All righty. So I want to thank everybody who's been part of our Patreon, Coven of Joy. We have made the decision to put Patreon on pause due to me moving and a variety of other things. It's just going to be a little bit easier for us to pause Patreon, which means Moon and Woo will be paused. I will be closing shutting it all down until I get back to the States. And that will give us time also to revamp in how we are wanting to move forward with Patreon, because we want to make sure that we are able to provide you guys the best of us.
Awesome.
So,
thank you so much.
Okay.
You are welcome.
Well, hello, everybody. And, it never fails. It all comes together. It really does, right? We are on the precipice of an entirely new age that will be happening within 4 weeks from now, right? So that can get kind of scary at times. And I believe it was Krista that was talking earlier about being courageous, or maybe it was Damaris, right? Yeah, it was Damaris. And the key about being courageous, like you alluded to, is that it's not about eliminating the fear. It's about taking action regardless of the fact that you have some fear.
Yeah.
All right. So when we're going forward into this year, this coming year, this coming energy of this new age. Change is scary to humans. That's okay. We can continue to keep moving forward. We can continue to keep putting ourselves out there. Remember, being vulnerable is a superpower. It is not a weakness, right?
Yep.
And we can continue to put ourselves out there regardless of the mistakes that may happen. Keep trying, right? Don't allow anything that is less than perfect to take you out of the game, if that makes sense. All right. And that's a big message for me as well, because I am horrible when it comes to that kind of thing, right? I want everything to be absolutely flawless, knowing that the human component itself does make it less than, perfect. So you're never going to get where I want to go, right? And I have to keep reminding myself of that, all right? So when we're opening to the future, all right, literally I make this motion of opening my heart, all right? We're opening our hearts, we're opening our minds, we're opening our souls to divine intuition, all right? What's the next right action? What does my creator need from me now? Where can I go? What can I do? How do I be the hands, mouth, and eyes of my creator for the betterment and evolution of the planet, right? And that's a very, very powerful question that we can ask as we're going into what comes next, okay? Because like Damaris said, this next phase is going to take 20 years, okay? But in the meantime, while it's happening, we've already been experiencing a lot of Pluto breaking down, right? What has been in place that has not been working for the majority of human beings on the planet, just for a small elite upper crust class.
1%.
1%, yep. And even the 1/10 of 1%, right? Way up there. The ones that have those little underground bunkers and stuff.
Yeah.
So we've been seeing a lot of that falling away, but all right. So this is what I'm getting, and I apologize to anyone who is still emotionally triggered or impained by the World Trade Center. Okay. Yeah. But we've been seeing since 2008 the Trade Center coming down. Now is removing the rubble.
Yeah.
Okay. Now is getting in there and taking away all of those things that are still in the way of us building again. Okay. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. So this is that point where we've got to be willing to get in there and do the heavy lifting. Okay. The stuff that is embedded in the way that we think, in the way that we take action, and lift that heavy boulder and go, look, you're in my way. You can stay over here for a while. I need to go forward. Okay. So this is the part of all of this process that can be the heaviest work. Now, mind you, it's not going to break your back to do this, but it will break some of the structures that you have in your mind that keep your paradigm the way that it has been for the last however many decades. Right?
Exactly.
And it's a good thing, but it could be painful, right? Emotionally, we're going to be losing parts of our lives and ourselves that have been very comfy whoobies for a long time. Okay?
And there's the sacrifice, right? There's the sacrifice. Losing something, but gaining something greater.
Exactly. And sometimes that something greater isn't going to necessarily look like what we would expect greater to be, right? So, for example, if we're going out to go see a band, right, at a cool bar with a stage, that's good, right? And we would think that something greater would be, at an arena with tens of thousands of people, that would be something greater, right? Well, not necessarily. Yeah. Maybe that musician with an acoustic guitar in your living room would be far greater than all you.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
Greater doesn't necessarily mean bigger.
No, yeah.
It means more meaningful. It means more impactful.
More intimate.
Right? More sacred, if you will.
Yes.
Right? So don't be afraid to take action when you're scared and walk forward with purpose. Because
So funny, Gayle. I'm sorry to cut you off. The word scared is sacred, scrambled.
it is. You're absolutely correct. Yes, absolutely. And it is a great connection, Damaris. It really is. Because when we get those two chakras scrambled,
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh, that isn't fun.
This is going into a rabbit hole, right?
right?
But isn't that what this all is? I mean, seriously, it is. It's
Absolutely.
understanding that it's all connected.
Okay.
Hello, Wu is present.
Yeah, every time. Every time.
Don't mix sacred and scared, right?
Oh,
Right?
don't do that. No.
Mm-mm. No. All right. So that's phenomenal. I want you all in this next week going forward. Remember, we're 3 to 4 weeks out of when Pluto enters into Aquarius. Okay. And over this next 3 weeks, if at any time you feel like I need to do this work, but I'm scared, reach out, please. I will be available as much as I can be available to help you walk through this, right?
Yeah.
You know, it's one thing to clean out your closet. It's another thing to put it in a bag and put it by the door. It's another thing to take it out to the fucking trash.
Yep. Or the recycling center.
They're all phases.
Recycling center. Yeah.
Yeah.
Although if we're taking that stuff out, I don't think anybody else wants it either.
Yeah, but sometimes it needs to still be recycled because it needs, that extra bath.
There you go. There you go. All right. So that's your assignment for this next week is to do the work, right? That allows you to walk forward into who it is that you intend to be, who your creator created you to be, because they're not different, right? What's in your heart pulling you forward is what you were created to be.
Yeah.
Right? There's nothing wrong with it, no matter what the rest of society has been trying to shove down your throat for how many years.
Yeah.
Right? There is absolutely nothing wrong with you being what your creator created you to be. I don't care if that's transgender. I don't care if it's gay. I don't care if it's female. I don't care if it's male. It does not matter. What you were created to be, what is in your heart to express and evolve into is what we need from you. All right. So if you have any insurmountable fear, and you need somebody to take your hand and walk through the forest with you, we're here. Just pick one.
We are. Yeah.
Reach out.
I love it.
And by the way, it goes for anything. Sometimes this fear, this insurmountable fear, can be as simple as moving. Like moving from one place to another place. I mean, for me, I moved so many times. The longest I've ever spent anywhere is 6 years. I kind of get like, in one actual physical building. So I understand, but there are people who have lived in places like forever. Like Damaris, you've lived in your house for a long time.
Forever.
Yeah.
I've lived in the same vicinity for 40 years.
Yeah. So that's another thing, that people can be locked down in terms of the fear. And you may find that you need to do that. You may need to move, whether it's because you have to.
I believe I will.
Yeah. And it is. And for me, I'm not saying I am not brushing it off. And I'm sure Rain's like going, yeah, girl, I'm getting ready to move. I mean, she and I are like probably going, yeah, so where's the wine? There's mojitos. I'm not saying that we do this and we may, we sit back and go, oh yeah, that's
make
great.
it look easy, but it's not.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, Tracy will be laughing and, because I'll be moving very near her vicinity, actually next door to the building she's in right now is where I'm moving to in the United States. And I already have this vision of her standing there and here's your wine. Here's a margarita. Whatever the case may be.
Just get her one of those baseball hats that's got the cans, sippies that come in. She'll be moving boxes. and just take a sip.
Yeah, no. So no, I just don't. There are lots of things that fear locks us into. I mean, just changing a new job or going to a new school or deciding that, you know what? Oh my God, I went to school and I paid how much money to become an accountant, and I realize I hate it and I want to be, I want to throw pottery instead. That's change. That you can be afraid that, that's something that can limit you. So I'm not to drone on about that, but I just want to give a lot of examples because I feel like sometimes people get caught in words.
Yeah.
Labels.
All right. So this didn't get put out on the announcement, and we are going to go long today. I don't really care. We're going long today because there's a lot to cover. All right. But here's the thing. When we talked about this show, I said that I would also give a reading from the Rebel deck.
That's
right.
Cool.
Okay.
Since Tracy got the crystal reading, I'm going to give you the Rebel reading, Dr. Rain. How's that work for you?
Woo!
Okay, let's go.
All right. So I'm just going to shuffle up here. It's just a 1-card reading. All right. And Miss Rain, you tell me when to stop shuffling, and I will show you the top card of the deck when you do.
Okay.
So shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. These are good.
Stop.
All righty. Whatever you're thinking about, don't do it. Now is not the fucking time. I trust you.
For 20 seconds.
I feel that.
I love this deck, by the way.
That is an awesome deck.
It really is.
Would anyone
I
else
like that. I feel that.
Yeah.
What was that?
Would anybody else like a reading since we're going to
I feel that.
away?
I'll take one.
All right. You tell me when to stop shuffling, honey.
All right, stop.
Ooh. You power.
You are giving away your power. Okay.
You're a badass. Act like it.
Oh, I love it.
Nice.
I'm liking that. All right, do Tracy next, and I'll be last.
Okay. Tracy,
Stop.
tell me when to stop. Stop. You do you.
Right.
Stop trying to change people. That shit never works.
Too right.
Too right, right?
Yeah.
I love this deck.
I love it. It's like so honest. All right.
Yeah.
So I'm next.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, stop. Oh, far out.
Shit is going down with your job. Reevaluate, change your perspective, or fucking quit.
Wow, that's interesting. Well, you
I
know,
need that deck.
yeah, I'm like,
You need this deck, don't you, Dr. Rain?
I need that deck.
yeah, I think you need to put the link in so that we can all get the deck. That's a funny deck.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
And actually, I did reach out to her for permission to sell her deck. So we will get that hooked up for you right away. Okay?
Excellent. I love it.
I love that.
Beautiful.
I love it.
All right, my dears. Now let's kind of whiz through the rest of the stuff that we've got left to do. And that is the actual card of the day. Check this out.
Woohoo. 6 of
Six of
Wands.
Wands. And the 6 of Wands energy is celebrating your accomplishments. You know, right?
Mm-hmm.
Coming into town, getting the acclaim, the fanfare, all of that. Not just from the crowd around you. The internal feeling of, I've done my job. I've done pretty freaking well, you know. Take stock of this past year, 2023, and make a list of the things that you would like an energetic pat on the back for today. All right. You deserve to celebrate the things that you have survived. And you don't have to be like, oh, I aced this, I nailed this. No, I survived this year. It was so good. I'm done.
Right.
That's all you got to do. Okay. But at least give yourself the pat on the back for that, because a lot of people fucking didn't. 20 a day didn't.
Yeah.
And that's just in military. Not to mention the people that never found a crew.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. So the fact that you survived this year is definitely to be celebrated.
Yeah.
If you did anything above and beyond that, kudos, honey. I will clap for you as well. You know, but at the very least, give yourself a pat on the back. And yes, there is absolutely nothing wrong with you saying, you know what, I did this, and this, and I'm going to go treat myself to something nice that I usually say, oh, no, that's a luxury. I don't want to spend that money on me. I need it for other things. Go buy yourself some flowers, maybe. You know, whatever
Always
it
buy
is.
flowers.
Absolutely.
Always.
Or if maybe it wants to be a crystal, so that you know, for the coming year, go splurge on yourself, you know, piece of crystal jewelry from retail therapy, right?
Yes.
From CAI, classic.
Don't
act.
tell anybody, but we're going shopping right after this.
Nice.
Shh. Your secret safe with all of us.
Okay.
In other words, there's going to be new product.
Nice. Can't wait. Is she going to Poland this year?
Maybe August, perhaps August.
Well, Tracy, definitely let me know, because I'll come with you. It's a few up the street from me.
Dr. Rain will come meet you.
Oh,
Yeah,
fantastic.
Germany, they're neighbors.
That's right.
Yes,
They are.
your neighbors.
Ladies, I have to go. I have a client. I'm
All
sorry.
right, my dear. We'll see you
All right.
soon.
Bye.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Awesome. All right. And then we also have today's affirmation, which comes from that card. I celebrate my victories, acknowledging the journey that brought me here. Right. So take some time for gratitude. Take some time for to actually take stock of all that you've accomplished and all of the good things that you've been able to do this year, because you're strong enough to do it. All right. Last thing we need to do is say thank you so much to our winner. This week's Woo Woo giveaway winner is Maureen Gibson. Congratulations, Maureen. Thanks for being part of 3 Crones in the Woo Woo. Now for Maureen and for anybody else who doesn't know what I'm talking about, each week the 3 Crones give away a 30-minute reading. Okay. So if you pick me, it will be an intuitive reading. If you pick Miss Krista, it will be a crystal reading. And if you choose Miss Damaris, it will be an numerology reading. Yes. So all you got to do, Maureen, is reach out to one of us in our DMs and say, hey, I chose you. Let me get on your calendar, and we'll put you right on there as soon as we can get you fit in. Okay. Thank you again to our guests today. Dr. Rain, thank you so much for joining us. It's been a hoot. I love seeing you. And
Thank you.
Tracy, thank you so much, my dear. I can't wait to get together with you more often. Going forward. And as always, Krista, love you, my dear. Happy New Year.
Love you. Love you all.
Happy New Year, all.
Happy New
Happy
Year,
New Year,
everyone.
everyone.
Take care, everyone. We'll see you again real soon.